you don't lose your train of thought. Worthy, mute your mic, please. And for
Okay.
those who have fallen, please, guys, fix your network. We would want to hear your views. Thank you very much. Baba Juju, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying that my father was the chairperson for Midlands North yaikambasana Kadoma Kwekwe Gokwe. So yakadyiwana Mnangagwana naChibundo, my father was part of the process. So I grew up as an opposition supporter, and unfortunately 2018 I was out of the country, 2023 I was out of the country. So unfortunately I've never voted for my preferred candidate, but hopefully in 28 I will correct that. So my first point is, muZimbabwe hakuna munhu asina hama iri diaspora, because people live vanhu vatiza economy yaparadzwa neZANU-PF. Kana pane munhu anoti haana a close relative iri diaspora kunyepo. So the solution is to will come from Chamisa. Ndikureva kuti yes, there are many opposition leaders there, but history yaChamisa unokwanisa kuitracer sezvataurwa naMP from ari student through loyalty yake naTsvangirai, nyange vakambonetsana kuda 2014 the Douglas Ngonzora thing, you know, understand everything, akaramba anaye and akapinda politics. And pane vari some people are putting argument about money, hanzi yeye akudzoka nekuda kwemari. Imi, why is it that iwewe baba vafa, iwewe mwana watete urikudaro unyanya uchema kudarika iyi mwana isu mwana vababa? Chamisa if you remember well the 2023 elections, Chamisa isarara mumba, traveling all over. Kunoton kwaTsvangirai, Chamisa akatoita rally na7 usiku asingasheve urikuona family yake, traveling all over Zimbabwe campaigning. Then everything zvakaitika, we know what happened next. Anditi mari dzepolitical funding and mari dzese dzakuenda kune vamwe vanhu. Saka mari nyaka muchiti zvona ari kuita something for money, muri kurevi. Make it make sense for me. And that argument kwandiri doesn't fly. Mari dzepolitical funding dziri kuenda kuna Nashavangu, who was not even paballot. And muri kuti Chamisa ari kudzoka nekuda kwemari. It's not about money, it's about principle. Then what should stay? Right? First of all, what should change? Number one, please position your SG at Chaida. You know, my opposition leaders are going to share my conversation on my ghost accounts. I know Chamisa in this group are listening. Please, first, number one, we no longer need the position of the SG. Why? Let me talk a bit of history. The first SG, Watchman Mwe, rebelled against Tsvangirai, akafoma MDC Green. Kukauya Douglas Ngonzora rebelled against Nelson Chamisa. Kukauya Shavangu again rebelled. No, ndasira tendaibiti again rebelled against Tsvangirai. Then Ngonzora did the same against Chamisa. Shavangu did the same against Chamisa. That means that position is too powerful. It should be neutralized. New constitution, please, that position. It will create many problems. Either one, limit common powers, clearly limits constitution, because it's the problem, or we remove it completely. Then number two, new the lineup young number poster, and I'll say it again. We need new blood. In this new blood, it is often I'm 35 years old, young, why do we Tungamira Zimbabwe? So my lineup first is the president is Nelson Chamisa. Why Chamisa? Because he needs one more round. Akaita 18, akaita 23, he needs 28. Zvakaramba 28, we move on. Then the vice president, I wonder I'm going to advocate Mahere, because the advocate Mahere is proven a loyalty, because here na MP Harare East ndo akasiya nonsense yaitika muparliament, and they proved their loyalty. Remember, advocate Mahere wakasacrifice a lot to be an MP, but within 1 or 2 months vanga vazvisiya because of a loyalty. Akaratidza kuti the issue is for the people. Number 3, SG. For SG, I go for Chibaya. Comrade Chibaya, wakufana kuchipromotwa from being an organizing secretary, the best ever. Wakufana kuitwa SG. And that he abolished, but at least kana vakadzosirwa powers. Then Ostalos. For me personally, I believe Ostalos is going to be the first independent president of Zimbabwe. So he needs to be groomed. So anotanga chairperson or kana mukama vice president too, he can be the second vice president, because I believe that Ostalos should ane potential to become the first independent president of Zimbabwe. It's high time Zimbabwe minorities atonga, because tese tiri Zimbabweans. Then madzibaba veshanduko vobva vapinda paorganizing secretary, that's the initial list. Then kune vanhu 3 apa, I know most people won't agree with me. Number 1, kuna mama Kakata Donza. Nyange vatadzi sei mai vainhangu ndinovadai, munhu anoregererwa anodzoka mupati. We need here, because pandiri dzati vanonzi karenyi konye something, ndo first person. Number 2, Tendai Biti. Yeah, Tendai Biti needs to be part of the movement. Then number 3, Job Sikala. Those people, very 3, they want to bring out some weight, but havafana kukontesta kuma-safe seats. Vanhu ava ma-heavyweights kana vachitanga vanokontesta kumamisha kwavo. Changride once did it, although akaruzake bwera, but at least create some vibe, because the opposition is weak kumaruwa. So ndo the initial line up
All right.
Then we must make use of diaspora, especially South Africa. In order for us to win the elections, we should prioritize South Africa. Both South Africa kune more than 1 million votes. Because the difference between Mnangagwa na Chamisa is only a few 100,000. So focus to go on South Africa. Vanhu ngavaregister South Africa, vanhu ngavadzoke. I thank you.
All right, Baba Juju. And guys, we are going to be dropping some of the speakers. Baba Juju, we can still bring you back again, because you have made I think a very important submission, and people might want to rebut you, so that I just bring others who are at the bottom, so they come up also, we can hear what they have to say. So those who are requesting, I see you guys. I'm going to be bringing you up shortly, as I'm going to to be reshuffling the speakers. So thank you, Hot Seat.
Thank you very much, Hulu. And thank you very much for that submission. Baba Juju. Wavy AC, are you there? Wavy AC?
Oh, Wavy has just fallen. Oh, he's here. Yeah, he's still here, Wavy. Okay, Wavy, it seems like you're still there. Are you able to speak? Wavy, are you able to speak? If you are not able to speak, then
Hello?
we're gonna... there we go. Wavy,
sorry
go
about
ahead.
that. I was just in work, like just about to finish, and somebody else can go before me, and I'll speak after them. Let me.
All right, cool. So when you're ready, please just raise your hand, and then we'll just bring you forward.
I'm doing handover, so somebody can speak, and then I'll go after them.
All right, thank you very much. So
Hot Seat, what we are going to do now is we are going to go for Black Stallion, then we are going to go to Dr. Peter Chari, and then from Dr. Peter Chari we go to Cooksman, right, in that order, and then after that we are going to have Justice Mahoney, and Bosolani will allow you to rebut in between for those that have been here. And we must not forget that the MP Daniel Molokela is with us, and he's listening carefully. He will be coming in as the speakers make their contributions. So Hot Seat, Black Stallion, Dr. Peter Chari, and Cooksman.
Thank you very much, Hulu. So Black Stallion, you can take the mic.
Okay, thank you very much. Greetings to you, my brother Hulu, the host, co-host Scotty, co-host Hot Seat, speakers and listeners. Thank you. Yeah, what an interesting topic. Yeah. One thing that I will never bash is the coming back of any political figure, maybe who was once in the picture and now maybe decided to take a sabbatical and decide to come back. It is within his democratic right to do so. So yeah, the return of Advocate Nelson Chamisa is quite a welcome. But then there are few things, indicators that I personally would then dismiss, since the question is saying what advice would you maybe give him? My advice is the culture that I have noticed over the years in terms of opposition politics and also what I've experienced personally. I was actually highlighting some of these things in one of the spaces that I was in earlier on, pointing out the culture where MDC, where they won the Harare metro, and then some of my friends, they actually got jobs in the city council on the basis that they were card-carrying members of the MDC. And some of us who were also supporting the opposition, we couldn't get those jobs because we were not card-carrying members. So to me, it became more like a system of replacing the same the people you are fighting, but you don't do away with the system. You carry on with the system. So that culture doesn't really make you a formidable opposition, you know, because if you are just a mirror of what you are fighting, you are not an opposition at all. You might not be an impeccable mirror image of what you are fighting, but if in some areas you are a mirror image of what you're fighting, it's actually detrimental to you as an opposition organization. So I think you can also reflect on that and give it a good thought and try to do different, right? And then the other thing, this might sound like an attack to our MP who is here, but my advice to Nelson Chamisa, I remember at one time he was making calls for his members, parliamentarians, to come out of parliament, and some stayed. So at this point, anyone who did not take heed of that call, I think he should just let them be, leave them there where they are. They shouldn't come on board on his new strategy as he's retaining. Those are not loyal soldiers to him. So they should stay where they are. Because also in Zimbabwe, people have understood the culture of riding on an individual. Because no doubt that as an individual, Nelson Chamisa, his popularity, you know, is what guns votes for his organization, more than just an organization. That we have witnessed, and we can never have a debate on that, because we have seen and witnessed a takeover of an organization from that individual, now with Sengezo Chavangu. And the people, you know, they are not rallying behind that individual. So you will see that it was never about the institution. And then lastly, I would say strategy in itself, I was talking also of expedience. It's not really a good strategy, because we are looking at sincerity and realistic to the cause of what they stand for as opposition. You know, you can't just use ways and means, you know, which are not proper, like you would want chaos to prevail so that you can constantly point fingers where your opponents are failing. You know, you should also be sincere to nation building, you know, so that when you preside, at least you would have done something even while you are still opposition to build the country. Because when you are presiding that, I'm sure you wouldn't want a completely or utterly damaged country to start from scratch. So in his capacity, as we all understand that he commands a lot of following, he can also use that towards and direct that towards nation building, because we understand that he commands quite large of the voting currents in Zimbabwe, which are the people who vote. And then the other thing is this: he should also not be afraid, because he should not be the confidence to people that we can do it prior to elections, citing irregularities such as the board that presides over elections, ZEC, not being independent, or the judiciary system, and or even issues such as the what do you call this, delimitation, and what is the other thing, the registering processes and all that. So if he cites irregularities there, he mustn't also shy to withdraw in time, because him going full force and understanding that there are a lot of irregularities, the playing field is not fair, and he continues going, it's more like him giving confidence to people, and then we still go on and lose with the process that we would have avoided. So that will also help to save resources and to regurgitate, and also to be sincere that you wouldn't just participate for the sake of participating in a process that you just know it's sham and it's not fair to the people. So that's how he can also save the people and maintain his credibility as one of the best players in Zimbabwean politics. But lastly, the other comrades that were appointed by my brother who spoke before me, the likes of Tendai BT and the others, I think he has just fallen out with those comrades. It should just remain as such, because it will be a repetition of the same thing. It will be a cycle, which then I will regard as madness, because it won't be the first time. You know, I think if I'm counting properly, it could be the fourth or fifth time where these people have fallen out of each other. You know, I'm talking of Welshman, I'm talking of Tendai BT himself, I'm talking of even Job Sikala. These people even went on and formed their own political parties, which maybe gave birth to the MDC alliance. And then it just proved in the history of opposition politics that maybe these people are just big figures who cannot be thrown in one basket. So it would be wise if Chamisa can just stand alone, maybe with other unpopular names that we don't even know. He can bring those into the picture. And then Tendai BT, Job Sikala, all these other big names who were once his comrades can do likewise, make their own political formations. And then we can go like that, because Zimbabwe is a democratic space which will allow that. But for them to try and work together, you know, it has been tried. It just that doesn't work. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Black Stallion, for that. And before we go to Dr. Chari, I just want to you pointed out something I just want to ask. So do you think right now, you spoke about the member of parliament who was here, and do you think we should be expecting the voice of those who are currently in parliament, who are oppositions, to start changing their tune to try and find favor with Nelson Chamisa?
Yeah, no, they can change their tune for all they want, for all they care, but the advice goes to Nelson Chamisa. These are not loyal comrades. And it will be clear if they even change their voice that now they just want a vehicle to ride on as to just consolidate their parliament seats, because on their own, I'm sure they understand that they don't have the capacity to even maintain that seat, because the ticket that gets them there, it's no longer there.
Yeah.
So they just enjoy it while it lasts. Many thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Blake Stallion and Hotchie. Thank you. The MP is still here. The MP will be responding to that. He's listening, and I'm bringing up the MP again so he can be there. So, Blake Stallion, we are just going, because of the request that we have, we are just going to, you can go to the listeners for now, but then we can bring you back again to make an argument as people mention your name, because we just need to hear from everybody. Thank you very much, my friend. Hotchie.
Thank you very much, Hulu. Dr. Chari?
Okay, thank you very much. How are you, Mr. Hulu?
I'm very good, Dr. Chari. How are you, my good friend, Dr. Chari?
I'm very fine. And I'm very happy to hear that Mr. Chamisa, or President Advocate Nelson Chamisa, is coming back with a new party. I'm very happy. I'm very proud of his supporter. Ndiriwe kutanga pamasupporters ake. I think so. I think maybe number 2, because Honorable Mulokeli says he's the first. So I think I'm number 2. Pa new vehicle yake challenge within some days. So what I can say is, I think new faces, especially kuma decision makers, or vachange vari pakati pema decision makings within the party. I wish to see new faces because I'm no pane vanhu vandisisina trust mavari. Those who have a questionable character or questionable integrity or loyalty havachafaniri kunge vari mubhodhi rine chekuita nemadecision making, so that everything goes well. Ndo ndine kakutya kekuti vanhu ivavo vakadzoka back again vanotanga kutaura zvemacongress before, like what we had done now, Westman Mube, Anatenda Ebit and so forth. So I think if we get some new faces kune vanhu vanoita decision making, I think it will be better for me. I think that's all I can say. I'm very happy. We are waiting for the new. We are waiting for President Nelson Chamisa to come back. I thank you.
Thank you very much for your submission. Kasman, Cooksman, sorry. I don't know how to say it. Kasman or Cooksman, are you there?
Bosalani,
okay,
please, Bosalani, please stop that. Stop that, please. It is becoming really irritating. And I know very well that you know that what you're doing is wrong. And we don't.
No, but the name is wrong.
No.
I'm
saying, I'm saying that.
Am I wrong for correcting her on how she pronounces his name?
You are wrong, Bosalani. Please, we don't need that. You are a host of spaces, and you know exactly the rules, and we can't do that here. We can't do that here. Sorry about that hot seat. So it's Cooksman hot seat. Thank you.
All right, Cooksman, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Apologies for pronouncing your name wrong. Apologies for that. You can take the mic.
So I believe Honorable, you said, is it which Honorable is here?
It's Honorable Daniel Molokele. He is here.
Okay, wonderful. So I think it's a blessing to have someone who might probably carry some of the things that we say here. I think most of you guys knows that I've been a number, if not one, I don't know which number, supporter of Nelson Chamisa. But everything has changed, and I'm glad that he knows it. He knows what's in my heart. I've told him, I've spoken to him. I'm not happy at all. If Honorable Molokele is here, he must listen very carefully. I'm not happy with the way opposition is carrying themselves in Zimbabwe. They are wasting people's time. They are playing with people's minds. So we for instance, I'll mention this. You said that for Nelson Chamisa's return, what should stay, what should change. He's a very good man. He's loved by people. You can't take away that from him. But I think there's a lot that he needs to change. And one of the things is his beliefs. He should stop. Politics, guys. Let's be honest. To some extent, I feel like it's blasphemy, because if you check my statements, I would say, let me check these other statements. Like there's this one, 2013, my father, who is a righteous father, assures me that a new Zimbabwe is upon us with a few months. The next thing, 2023, you know what? I'm glad that I have told this straight to him per phone. I'm a very straightforward guy, and I don't like people who play with people's minds. You may have your beliefs, but you can't take those beliefs. Wait, my beliefs even was last takatarisa politics nature yadzo vachiri nguva yeBhayibheri vanhu vaitozosimbiswa naMwari kunorwa hondo. We all know what ZANU-PF is. Right now we are all here on Twitter tichipopota every day. Mari dziri kubiwa. Some people are getting richer and richer every day. We come here on Twitter topopota election time tozadza mastadium nemarally. Hapanoi ma elections are quick. How come we have got a political party which is so loved by people? Inoshaya ma-agents anozvipira kuti we are not going to allow anyone to meddle with the people. I was there last time my elections akapera. kusina kana vanhu vari kupi mayuta ari kupi anenge akazara panapa pasocial media vachipopota panapa munenge muri kupi muchitadza kunoprotekta mavhotsi kuzimbabwe vanhu machemberano achitambudzwa nefazuko vanhu vachitanga vaunganidzwa kuti vavhoti vaiswe paline well munenge muri kupi imimi we've got able-bodied people here in South Africa. South Africa can be a very good base rekugadzira maagents anosvika achinoprotecta. I'm telling you vanhu vanowanzwa my elections avhikizana my elections anogona kubvisa zanu or my elections can start a revolution in Zimbabwe because the moment yamunomira makasimba muchichallenja zanu pf kuti let's follow the law ndo panotangira hondo yose but vanhu vanenge vachipopota patwitter pano vonyora mabhesi this year is the year. Let's not play man. This country is getting fucked up but kutamba panapa nonyora mabhesi now is coming back this nonsense this and that vanhu vari UK mwari kuNetherlands mwari kupi toya panapa tichitaurirana nhema tisimbisana pa ZANU PF is deep rooted guys. Kana tazoda kubvisa ZANU it's gonna be a fight and hapana imwe nzira. That's the only way. If you want the Bible way then you all gonna witness it. Kana dai mwari vari mwari vechokwadi vachishanda semashandiro avanoita then what he promised would have happened because vachamisa vanoenda kuchechi vanozviti vanonzwa mwari. Even the Bible says this. If what a prophet proclaims in the name of the Lord does not take place or come true, this message the Lord has not spoken. That prophet is presumptuously, so do not be alarmed. Saka tinoramba here chera mubva 2013 vataura kuti mwarati no bootlicking ngaimire kuopposition tese takadai patiri panapa choti mungava mufamily ukasatsiurwa uchiresva haugadziriki siyai bootlicking kuopposition zvakatanga nekuzanu zvapararira kuopposition izvezvi kutaura kwandiri kuita hanzi atengwa zotengwa nani dai vanhu vachichallenja chiro zvakaitika zvachava I was so angry. How can you build a party vanhu vachidoneta mari nekusavata kwavaita vachamisa vachibata musango vachikamira vaita sei mabuild a party. Someone comes from Norway, that's what they tell us. Otora party, you keep quiet wotiza wosiya wotanga ini saka vachapera rini vanhu vacho vachimubhitira vachitora party. Honestly I'm not happy. Kana vamolokele vari pano I'm not happy and seriously ngative serious kana tida kugadzira Zimbabwe and stop this nonsense that we are doing zvokuti tinotita zvokuti zvedambe zvatiri kuita. We are playing with people's lives. I'm telling you all the people that are dying right now in hospitals, opposition is liable for those people because we are not serious at all. Zviri nani kuti kana musingakwanisi udzai vanhu chokwadi hatigone ZANU munoiziva ZANU yakaoma. It's an uphill. Kana tada kubvisa ZANU a lot of people will lose their lives just by speaking unofa. What more kuzoita action? But it's the reality. Tatiri kungoda kungotizive kuti chatakatarisana nacho ndechipi. Hazvide munamato, hazvide vhesi, hazvide chii. Mwari hapendi akatipa 5 cents dzekufunga. And I would sometimes think kuti vanhu veZANU PF maybe they're just clever enough because maitwa muri vaviri muri panzvimbo imwe chete negoridhe nemadiamonds. Mumwe afunga kudzvanyira ngoita basa rokuchema uchinyora mavhesi uchingopopota. Irwa Chamisa semurume unikiri. Takasiyana nevanhu veZANU PF, takasiyana chine mayuth eZANU PF. Honestly in this era sabhuku anosunga achitaura achityisidzira vanhu kuti munhu akangozikanwa kuti anogotera opposition gara wazviuraya. Vari kupi mayuth akazvipira anoti no to that nonsense. The constitution yatiinayo inoti hakuna munhu anofanira kumbunyikidzwa ndedu tose. It must be respected and there should be people who are ready to defend that constitution, who can stand up against that nonsense. Not izvo zvokuuya pamatwitter izvo vanhu vachitora zvirungu zina nebasa rese muchirwisana navanhu pamatwitter. ZANU haidhine izvozvo. Next thing kana zvikaramba zvakadai muchaona ameno 20 whatever my elections ZANU inowina. We'll be here tichipopota pamaspace pana. It's rubbish, I'm telling you. We have to be very, very serious. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your submission. Before we just hand over to Hulu, I just remember that I know you sang a song during elections, like supporting, and you were supporting Nelson Chamisa a lot. And you basically, I think you had hope, right? And people, you're a youth leader, and people really look up to you and so forth. So I'm just wondering, and I remember when anybody had anything like negative to say, you were really the way you obviously you're against it and so forth, and then now you're speaking like those people. So what advice would you give? Do you believe that right now, with Nelson Chamisa coming back in the game, one, all those things that you are talking about, they come, is he going to be fighting for reforms? Two, is he going to still be saying it's going to be won by the ballot? What do you think there's actually going to come change, or is it just going to be the change of the name?
I think leaders are determined by their followers, or I would say supporters. So this is what I'm just going to advise people here. Let's stop bootlicking leaders. Because if, for instance, the opposition is going to win and lead with the current state of things, you're going to have the same problem that we have in ZANU-PF, whereby they do what they want, you can't challenge them. Once you start to speak up, you are called a sellout and stuff like that. Because right now, ZANU-PF, if people in ZANU-PF, young people in ZANU-PF, were challenging their leadership to do good, I'm telling you, everything was gonna work. So I was a bootlegger, and sometimes I listen to some of the things that I've been saying now. I laugh and say, what was this? We have to stop bootlegging. We must understand that once we start bootlegging leaders, we are creating a problem. Because that same person that you are putting there, which is not arikukanganisa, which is mutsiura say mangwana, anofuma guys hama yake inobapa position, and anofuma kangoita zvanoda. You can't. But my leaders also across all the political spectrum, they must understand that kana vachiswa pazvigaro zvavari havasi kuiswa because they are too special. They are there to lead the people. They are there to represent the people, not for themselves. So, I would say that's it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Cooksman. I mean, the MP is here to respond to you, and I will be slotting in those who want to do some quick rebuttals, including both Solani herself and others that have been here before we run with a new set of speakers better. We can ZANU-PF when we are worse than ZANU-PF. By the way, you need to be better than ZANU-PF in order to replace it. I think so. But MP Daniel Molokele, a plea from Cooksman. I think everybody does know Cooksman as a singer, as a staunch supporter of the Citizen Coalition for Change. I saw also one of his videos banning the T-shirt of the CCC. I don't know if you saw that. MP Molokele, and he's encouraging that bootlicking, which we have also seen in ZANU-PF, by the way. He's saying that we must say passing bootlicking, pansy bootlicking. How would you respond to a person like Cooksman in terms of his concerns for the opposition MP Molokele? Please go ahead.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, MP. You are driving, but we can hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I'm from the University of Zimbabwe Students Union, and my background and training is robust engagement. So concept of bootlicking, we use it, we didn't know it, because that one visit and we encourage free thought. If you came to our SRC meetings, you would see would allow people to express themselves. So I'm not used to bootlicking, and I'm also from civil society. I spent most of my life in civil society where we are trained to hold people accountable. So I agree with Cooksman with bootlicking, which is an African culture, by the way. But you have to treat him differently. That's why when people become politicians, they are treated differently. But it's something that not just in Zimbabwe is a big problem, but all across Africa. By nature, African people, they elect a person, then they make them their chef when he's supposed to be their servant. So we need a cultural shift, and we want to encourage people to express their thoughts, and also to Bible not iron sharpens iron. So I need, when I get an opportunity to give my views, I don't worry about whether Chamisa will be happy or not happy. I just want to advise him, and that's what it's all about. A leader needs support. Bible not Moses, so for a leader to be more effective, they need people who are honest and they tell them the truth. And so I want to encourage people to be upfront. If you have a view and you express your view, it's good. But also accept good. As you criticize someone, you also should accept criticism. Because people have got views that are different from yours, you must accept it. But you are not the only one who has got my correct views. And that's how we grow. So let's encourage people not to say only things that they want to hear. Every out in parliament, even against the speaker, ZANU-PF MPs congratulate me more than the opposition MPs. Even video I did viral last week, I'm getting more congratulations from ZANU-PF people because they are not allowed to say their views. If you have a view in ZANU-PF, and cheap people. Saga, there is no free thought anymore. So ZANU-PF parliamentarians, if they've got an issue, they look for people like me. And it's really sad for me. But if you're in ZANU-PF, you can't even influence your own government. Because if you don't do that, we're not going party or next parliament. I just wanted to explain something to the people. It's easy when you're in the diaspora to make assumptions. But because some of us are in the political process, we actually have the reality. For example, with regards to the election process, when the results were being announced, people like me were very clear because maybe the diaspora and whatever. But part of the strategy of disengaging and making this election illegitimate is not to recognize my results easy. You know what? And it's part of the strategic alignment. Okay, local government election results, don't recognize them. Parliamentary election results, don't recognize them. So that you buttress my presidential election results. But obviously within the caucus, people have got different views. So the majority were on the side of it. Let's hold on to what we've got and then we fight for the president. And in 2018 and in 2023, I belonged to the people who said, for us to negotiate for the presidential election result, we must disengage both the local government and parliament. But I was in the minority. So I don't want to mention names. If I mention names, it will become controversial. Who actually said, let's remain in parliament? Because the recalls are getting 2 months late. And there are some people who, after even the first round of recalls, let's remain put in parliament. And I don't want to mention names. And I was in caucus as well, saying, guys, for strategic alignment, it's better to withdraw in mass. Because you have a diaspora, I'm never capacity. So that's why I'm out to die. But even when the president resigned, I actually resigned the very next day because I'm no longer part of TBC. Because I'm a consultation and my structures one. And people said, resign in solidarity. In an Antikarubara, is 800 kilometers away from what? From Harare. And I had to travel in person to Harare. To submit a term. So the time I came to Harare, I sought for Bazaima, I sought for Honorable Makam. Because the guy is my resigner. Can you also have a meeting with me so that I understand the logic and everything? Because I also want to resign. I advocate my area could not make it, but I had a meeting na Honorable Makam. Honorable. I actually made a meeting na president and he advised me, you're not supposed to resign. So I'm very clear with you. By the time you meet president, he will tell you it is a bad idea to resign. And guess what? The next day, president said, come. I'll never forget the day because that's the day Tsvangirai died. It was on Valentine's Day, 14 February 2024. The photos you saw that I posted on Twitter, they were taken in his office. I did a meeting 1 hour na President Chamisa. The president, I have stayed in South Africa. You can see I'm for 6 years. This was one of the chairman. Since President I resigned, you might as well want to join us. And my daughter Anga Ukarab America. And my wife Anga Ukarab America. Because just resign from parliament and come and join your family. We've not lived together since 2017. I said it's fine. Let me talk to the president. Ndikatsanangura kuna president kuti tsamba ndinayo ndikabuda pano ndichaenda kuparliament kunosiya tsamba. But you must understand kuti I'm not just resigning from parliament. I'm actually leaving the country because my wife and daughter are now in America. Family. So it is actually the president who told me, you must not resign. Even Fazai was not supposed to resign. Even Makam was not supposed to resign. You must not resign. You must remain in parliament. Against my own wife and daughter, I decided to remain in parliament. The whole of last year, I was uncertain about the future. I asked for a personal meeting with President Chamisa in December. I got to don't resign. I can't explain why he said I shouldn't resign because I'll be selling out the strategy. But I'm just saying, don't make assumptions. There are people who come here on Twitter go about, hey, my MP Bagatora ma 40,000. Bagatora ma 40,000. And someone comes to me about Bagatora 40,000. Yet it's on the public record. When the president said you must return that money, in any other bank account, and the kind of parliament you just cancel the loan application. And in January, the cancel Maria Garama account 3 months vakato visa in March. So in the gato badara even checks you go to Maria Garama account. So that 40,000 they actually returned it, all of it. And actions have been sent. So you come and say, hey, Mulukera Vakatora Maria Parliament. Do you know what I left in South Africa to come to Zimbabwe? I never share my personal life, my own personal wealth. So I want in Parliament my daughter goes to America. America. So I've sacrificed all these things because I want Zimbabwe to be a better country. I'm tired of living in the diaspora. Now Zimbabwe, I got 14 years with diaspora. Ku campaign with MP ndakashandisa 35,000 US yangu nemukadzi wangu. Second term ndakashandisa 25,000 US yangu nemudzimai wangu. Saka we are sacrificing as a family for this country. Ipapa tiri kubhadhara mwana school fees ku university United States. Saka zvandiri kutaura ndezvokuti chii? Don't make assumptions about your politicians because if we start to hear more about their lives and what they are pushing for, because when my MP I can recall a second round, but those MPs were against resigning after the first round of recalls. I was one of the people who said let's resign in solidarity. Then when they were recalled, they now turn about and pretend that parliament is useless. So at the end of the day, don't trust people. I remain in Zimbabwe because the president says so. If you phone President Advocate and say Chamisa takutaura kuti vanamulukere vakaenda kuAmerica, but when anogara nyika dzevamwe here, why was I born in Zimbabwe? Why should I go and live in Washington DC nyika yema-Americans when we have got a beautiful country like this one? So we have to fight. So the way forward is not about staying in parliament. The way forward is about creating a movement. We need to create a movement reformable. There are a lot of people who are very impatient. They should read the history of the struggle in Zimbabwe. Takatofoma ma-NDP, tikafoma ma-ANC, tikafoma ma-ZAPU, ma-ZANU, takatoita ma-struggle from 1941 until 1980. Tikaita ma-Patriotic Front, vanhu vakafa, vanhu vakaenda kujere 10 years. Vakatospenda 10 years mujere. Saka the struggle doesn't take one election. No, it can take a generation. So even in Zambia, Kutina President HH, go and research about how HH became the president of Zambia. Kutaka contest against Sataka contest against Lunga contest against yes, Vanarupia Ves. Saka by the time I quit a president, I got contest against 5. It's a process, it's a journey. It can take long, it can take short. But what we need to do is not to give up on the future. So I want to encourage people here, don't make us about my politicians.
Yeah.
This was the parliament of Zimbabwe. Kune vanhu vanosapota Chamisa vakatoti takuda kubuda parliament. Akatoti aiwa mirai. Because in why I did not ask you. Because people were saying, why did you resign without telling us? Wanted to resign with you. Chamisa dasikati vanhu vati ndiri selfish. Because in Dagarigirwa, because it didn't lose. Dagarigirwa presidential election. I didn't want to put you guys under pressure. Because the strategy is not parliament. The strategy is the country. Parliament and local government is useless. We want to take over State House. If you are going to have change in this country, the president must change. MPs are useless. Yeah. They can be recalled anytime. So Chamisa is not worried about parliament or local government. He's worried about strategy State House. I hope we've actually won parliament before, but it doesn't change the destiny of the country. you remain as the opposition. So whatever Chamisa is going to come up with is going to focus on the presidential election. But how do we transition after Chamisa is won? Because this time he got 60-something%. It got 30-something%. If you watch the press conference, Chinamasa, a day or so after the election, that's where the results are. Go on YouTube and look for that press conference. They were all down and out. Before Kwabuta's strategy, let's just declare my fake results. But at that time, look for that interview. The press conference,
all right,
a day or two after the election.
All right. MP, Molokela. MP, can you still hear me? There we go. Cooksman, just a quick one. We can hear you, MP, and thank you very much for that presentation. I think it has brought about many points that people can probably be able to ponder on. But I just want to give Cooksman a quick, response to that, because the MP also responded to what Cooksman was talking about.
It's an unfair way of doing things.
All right. Okay, that's fine. All right, it's okay. Let me then go to to Justice Mahuni. Let me go to Justice Mahuni.
I've been here the longest. I'm the most senior. I'll speak.
Senor, wait.
But if you don't want me to speak now, I'll close the mic.
Okay, you can close the mic. You can close the mic, Senor. That's fine. That's okay. But no doubt about it, the MP was responding also partly to what Cooksman had said, but then Cooksman keep it at that, and you will be able to respond at a later stage. This has nothing to do with disrespect to the other speakers, guys. We are all equal, and it's okay. Now that we have raised it, it's fine. We move with you. So hot seat. We are going to go to Justice Mahuni, then we go to Signoro, then we go to Patabe FM. And then
no. After Justice Mahuni, you had announced that I would come through because
I'm talking
let's
about,
allow rebuts as well, and then these people joined later. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm talking about the order of the speakers, not the order of the rebuts. So thank you about that, Postolani. I'm aware of that.
No, but you said that I'm after Justice with my rebut. That's what you announced.
Yes, I'm saying this is the order of the speakers, not the order of those who are going to, the speakers who are going to be rebutting. You are coming after Justice, but I'm talking about the order of the submissions. Okay, right. So hot seat, it's Justice, it's and Patabe, but after Justice, you give Postolani an opportunity to make that rebut. And the MP, I think, is still with us. He's listening. We are going to be bringing him up at an appropriate time. Hot seat.
Thank you very much, Hulu. Justice Mahuni, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, Hot seat. Thank you. Greetings, Comrade Hulu, Scotty, Hot seat, Postolani, Kaxman, and everyone on the space. I would have loved to have an interaction with the member of parliament. But anyway, I'll just ask my question. I think he's hearing it. First things first.
Yeah, he's driving, so his network is not very stable, but he will be coming back to, he's listening, so he will be able to respond. So he's still here. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the way it looks, I think Advocate Nelson Chamisa never left, especially politics. So I don't think there's any return when you never left. What maybe would have happened is him leaving a particular part like he did before to form another one. And there's been maybe groundwork to prepare that through the Blue Movement, which he later on said he's not involved in. So we wait until he announces another vehicle to contest elections, if that's the case. So in my view, he never left, so he didn't return. He's still a politician. As of today, even on his tweet, on his X, he always mentions that people said I shouldn't abandon, so I didn't abandon, so he never left. Then with the MP now, the MP is saying he resigned from Triple C. Our constitution is very clear. If you are elected under a ticket of a particular party and you resign from that particular party, meaning that you are no longer a member of that particular party, your membership of parliament also ceases to exist because you no longer represent the interest of that political party. So I'm surprised that he resigned from a political party, but he's still in parliament. I think I will ask my colleagues from other parties or within his party whether it's allowed that someone resigns from a party and remains a member of parliament under the same party. He said it, saying when Advocate Chamisa resigned, the party died. So I'm surprised that he's still in parliament. Of course, he said he returned the loan, but my question to him is he receiving a salary from parliament under a party that he no longer represents? Isn't that stealing from the people? Because he is no longer representing their interests. He himself said in Wange, they don't know any other political party besides ZANU-PF in the coming of an Advocate Chamisa. Yet he is still in parliament under the ticket of a party he is supposed to be representing the people. So I don't understand the confusion or a contradiction on his part. This thing of saying I sacrificed a lot of money, 35,000, 25,000, it's not scientific. We don't have the figures, we don't have the evidence of that, unless if he provides it. We take it as grandstanding and a lie. Whenever politicians have nothing to say, they always resort to this kind of defense. I am very interested in his presentation. I take it as a campaign to get a seat or to represent under the coming party under Chamisa. Is campaigning, it's allowed. Let him campaign, but let him be honest. He says he's honest, he's a man of integrity, but let him be honest that he campaigns. And I think we shouldn't dampen his campaign strategy in terms of winning the heart of Nelson Chamisa. But he must be honest with us as citizens that as he left the Triple C, he isn't eligible to be a member of parliament. Otherwise, he needs to return all the salaries he received under Triple C and all the hotel stays that he does in parliament under parliament business, because he no longer represents that interest. Either you're a member of parliament under a party or independent. Once you cease to exist under a certain party, you are no longer a member of parliament. So I think we should take it up with parliament that we enforce his illegal stay in parliament, because he's under an illegal party. He said that party is now ZANU-PF. So, but he's in parliament under Triple C. So let him die by his word. I think we need to take it up with parliament that you've got an illegal member of parliament who is still going around being called an MP when the interests that brought him parliament no longer exist. We need to enforce that. I think Uhuru must help us as the host to ensure that we enforce this with our constitution. What does it say? Because these guys believe in the constitution, so they must live it, because they are the lawmakers. So in that, I submit and he returns. Thank you very much, Comrade Gulu.
Yeah, I mean, MP Daniel Malukele is listening, and he will be coming back to respond to you and to and we will have that conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just having a sober conversation, and we need to keep it that way. And let us never forget again that the hope we have, us and our children and our children's children, let it be the same hope they have, all others, and their children and their children's children, those whose homes we will never know, and those whose nations we will never visit. For the hope of a Zimbabwean child must be universal, because this is about our people, this is about our country, and this is yet another day and another hour that we congregate to discuss these issues. 26 minutes past 9 now p.m. in Harare. Also there at 26 minutes past 9 in the city of Bulawayo. Shortly, we are going to be joined again by MP Daniel Molokele. He's going to be responding. So MP, continue listening. I'll be bringing you up shortly Right, Bosolani, you wanted to rebut before we go to Signoro. Let us keep it as civil as we can. We are having a conversation, right? So, Bosolani, please go ahead. I'm bringing up the MP, Daniel Molokele.
Thank you so much, Hulu. It is 27 past 8 p.m. in UK. And also, Iwe Cooksman. Votera Nelson Chamisa. Votera Pamasi Matatu. Shamwari mwanakomana wakamboedzawo kusapota Nelson Chamisa. Nditi ndiyo song yakaita kuti ndikuzive iyoyo. You put your all, you put everything you had into that song. And I want, when I heard your submission, I was like, wow, his eyes have been opened. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Tinotenda Mwari nazvo. Every time maziso panovhurika pakasiyana, but kuvhurika kwawo tinotenda Mwari. It's quite surprising. What I want to say, and I'm doing it in a very respectful manner, is to say to the MP, I've got a lot of questions for him, and I hope he's going to come through and respond to me directly, because I am coming to him directly with these questions after having heard his submission. This is not the first time I've heard him become sort of like I would rate it as a bit emotional when he talks about my family contributed this, my family are going through this, I had to put my own money. What about the money that citizens had to put through? It's a very emotional state for everyone. But I don't see the citizens coming through and say, takabadara mari bulletproof car, takabadara mari yema people who are supposed to be at the polling stations, takabadara mari this. So I would kindly ask the MP to be a lot more respectful when he's speaking to us here in public, because at the end of the day, if I'm earning less than $1,000 US here in the UK, and you're earning more than I do, you've got nothing to cry about. You're actually opening business. You talk about you're not with your family, but you can bring your family to visit you, can't you? Because you can afford it. There are certain provisions that are given once you become an MP that gives you money and autonomy. You didn't mention the issue of land. You said you refused the 40,000 that was allocated to you guys as a loan. Did you refuse the land? Did you refuse the car? Please break it down for us. Don't be selective when you're contributing to such a discussion. And I'm being respectful here, because when you came through, you were talking about how there are other platforms that we don't see anymore. Well, perhaps it's because they don't earn as much as you do, MP. You get paid to be an MP. You literally get paid to even come on this social media platform. Does Hulu get paid to host the space? Does other hosts of spaces get paid to host the space? I think that's a broader discussion that we need to talk about and interrogate before there is any sort of assertion or someone stating things to say people don't go there because of their behaviors or their treatment. Being asked questions that are brutally honest doesn't make us enemies. It just means that we're here to be transparent and accountable. Yes, Hulu, have I done something wrong? It's still
no. I just want us to maintain. That focus on the topic, so that we don't meander around other issues that can take us off the ball. So keep on the ball, Bosolani, and then we move to the next speaker. But we hear you, but keep on the ball. Please focus. Okay, go ahead.
Hallelujah, I'm so focused. I would also put in that I feel that the Honorable is looking for a way into Chamisa's new political party. He speaks about how Mahere resigned and the counterpart resigned, and then he makes excuses for why he didn't resign. There is nothing that stops you from resigning when you see that it's wrong. And I feel people need to ask Nelson Chamisa, because this is a broader topic that has been brought in. Now that he said that, Nelson Chamisa told them not to resign. Saka, my citizens, all along. Was Nelson Chamisa lying to you on social media? Was Nelson Chamisa playing the victim? When people like the MP who's here are saying that he told them to stay there. Wow, what's the reason for that? I hope you ask him.
Right, MP, you will be responding immediately. I'll be giving you the chance to respond to that.
Generate a conversation at this rate, which is really sad. because
Why
I have
are you
interpersonal
interjecting me
and
when
I
I'm
have
asking you
exposure.
Okay,
questions?
Bosolani, wait. I mean, like I said again earlier, we need to focus, and I'll immediately give the MP the opportunity to respond to that. But we don't need to deviate from the topic. We have a topic, Bosolani, and we need to stick to it. But
Yes,
I will
but
be giving.
it's about Nelson Chamisa's return, isn't it? And then we have to talk about when Nelson Chamisa is returning, who is he going to add? Joanne Mamombe has survived a number of issues whereby there have been problems with her former political party, Nana Monzura, when they took over. And she stayed on as an MP. So why are you saying I'm deviating? It's obvious that the MP is wanting a seat on Nelson Chamisa's crew, Yacha creator, right? And it's still the topic. When Nelson Chamisa is returning, is he returning as a farmer? Is he returning as a prophet? He's returning as a politician. And this politician is making it clear that he wants to be part of that crew. So I am in the parameters of the discussion. So can he stop interjecting me so that I can finish and then he can respond to me when I'm done?
Yeah, 60 seconds, Bosolani, and the MP will respond to you when you are done. Can you please round it up in 60 seconds? Please go ahead.
I made it clear that this is the first time we've had someone saying that Nelson Chamisa told them to stay. Zimbabweans were arguing and saying, my MP, get out, get out. Why is this statement different? And then he's trying to say that people like Fadza Mahere were ousted way before. People like Anamakam were ousted way before. They did something which they were not supposed to do. But don't we know from the Observer Mission report that they said that he was going to say to the MPs, do not go and enter into parliament, do not get sworn in. So why is this MP statement different from the other statements we've received before? I believe he's got another alternative. He's already made it clear that he suffered a lot and he's put a lot of money into this. So there's no reason to believe that he doesn't want to earn money as a politician on Chamisa's ticket.
All right. Let's give the MP the opportunity to respond. Ladies and gentlemen, the MP is actually here, and there is no way that we can, I can move to the other speakers without giving the first option to the MP. And again, we don't need to be worked up. We don't need to be emotional. We need to remain grounded.
The only one who's emotional is the one who interjected me.
Okay, all right, Bosolani, that's fine. The MP is going to be responding. So let us keep it at respect. And let us put our emotions down, because we are having a civil, conversation, right? Together. MP Daniel Molokele is here. Those who are requesting, guys, I'm going to be bringing you up shortly as I reshuffle the speakers. Other speakers who remain.